Hello, my name is Thomas, and I want to welcome you guys that are watching to my walk with Christ. Today I want to start in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, and it goes, it's Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, ending in verse 34. And it goes, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is life not more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. Do they not sow or reap or store away in the barns? And yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who are you, by worrying, can add one single hour to its life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the lilies of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendors was dressed of these. If that is how God clothes grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? So do not worry by saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink? For the pagans run after these things, for instead seek first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness. And all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow worries about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Now, as I read this, it's constantly saying, do not worry about this, do not worry about that. And then in the last verse, 34, says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow worries about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And, I can be the first to admit that I worry not only about tomorrow, but I worry about next week. I worry about next month. I worry about next year, where I want to be at next year. I mean, how silly is that? It's not really silly because I know that there's others out there that are the same way. But it's constantly said in here, do not worry. And my Bible, which I don't know which translation you're reading out of. I'm reading out of NIV, and God's words are written in red. And so all this that He's saying to us about don't worry about clothes or food, and seeking the kingdom of heaven, it's worrying. Let tomorrow worry about itself. It's all written in red. So it says right there. God's telling us right there, don't worry. And, I know already you guys are out there and saying, well, I can't help not to worry about my job. I can't help not to worry about, what's going to happen tomorrow with my life. I can't help not to worry about how I'm going to feed my family. And believe me, I'm right there with you, and I feel your pain. I really do. I want to take a step back real quick and just talk personally about something that recently went on in my life. It wasn't 2 weeks ago where I was fired from my job, and I had been with the company for about a little over a year, and I was fired for not following company policy, I guess you could say. It's a much more deeper story than that, and that's not the point. That's not the point here. But whether you're fired or whether you're let go from a job, it's a harsh reality when everything just crashes down on you, and you're like, what do I do next? How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay this bill? And I had to stop and think about it for a second and say to myself, well, things could be a lot worse. Yeah, I know, a lot worse than losing your job. What could there be? But when you stop and think about why things are happening, then you begin to get a better understanding of things that are going on. I don't know your situation. Whatever situation may arise, whether it's loss of a job, loss of a loved one, being in a relationship or a marriage for so long and it finally coming to an end. All those things happen for a reason, and I know that it's hard. Believe me. I mean, I'll be the first to say that, here I am giving this advice to you, yet I struggle with taking my own advice. It's sort of like when you start talking to somebody and you're like, hey, things will get better, and then you're like, why don't I listen to my own advice? Believe me, I know it's hard, I know it's tough, but the Bible also says that in the midst of struggle, in the midst of battle, whatever you're going through, God is preparing you for something better to come. And here recently, I've just been crying out to God, like, am I doing things right? What other steps do I need to take? And the truth is, I'll never know when things are going to happen. I know, and I'm a firm believer in believing that God has something better in store for me. So maybe the reason I was fired from this job is because God's got something bigger and better, more than I can even imagine, in store for me. Or I don't know what you're going through, but maybe in this relationship or this marriage that's ending after so many years. But believe me, I know that marriages are a lot harder to get over than a relationship. I know that for some people. But the point is, I mean, maybe God has got somebody better in store for you. And I know you can't see that now because it's very hard to be positive when you're going through a hard time in life, or other situations that are arising. Whatever they might be, God is preparing you, because it's in the midst of those struggles and those trials and those tribulations that God tests us. I mean, I could have lost my job. I could have went out and gotten hooked on alcohol or backslid, so to speak. But I didn't. And it was very hard for me to see the positives of losing my job. But, I have the gratification of knowing that God is in my corner. And who better to have in your corner than Jesus Christ himself? So I want to reach out to you guys out there, and whatever you're going through, just know that in the end, it's all going to be worth it. That job that you just might have thought was where God wanted you to be for forever, or for however long you thought he wanted you to be there, and it didn't work out. Just know that just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean that life is over for you. Just because that relationship doesn't work out doesn't mean that there's not somebody out there 10 times, 20 times better for you. So I just want to end in saying that I'm not perfect. I may have already come across that I am. I'm not perfect, but I have stability and being comfortable knowing that God is in control of my life, which is why I just lost my job recently, but I'm so positive and I'm so motivated. I mean, believe me, there's times where I just break down and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? When is it my time to so to speak shine? Not in a so to speak shine as in being selfish, but in God, I'm doing all these things that you want me to do, that I'm a firm believer in going in the direction that you want me to go into, but there's no doors opening. And like I said, we don't know when those doors are going to open, but believe me, they're going to be open. So I just want to end in saying that, in the essence of struggles going on, just believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there's hope for you. and believe that everything will work out. So I want to thank you for watching. If there's any of you out there watching that need prayer, that would like me to search for the Bible in whatever struggle that you're going through. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible. The Bible teaches us everything that we need to know about anything that we're going through, whether it's good things, whether it's bad things. So let me know. I definitely want to reach out to the viewers out there, and just let you all know that you're not alone. And I want to thank you for watching, and I pray that your week goes smooth, and that if in any times that you're feeling like it's hopeless, just take a moment and just think about that. Even though I'm going through this right now, in the end, it's going to be worth it. Thank you.